welcome back to Let's Talk Chicago Bears. Well, I'm back. I told you that in the when I signed off January that I would come back before the draft if anything big happened. Well, I'd say a lot happened in the last week and a half. I mean, oh my God. The Bears are rocking their polls. I got to tell you, 47 years I've been a Bears fan, and I don't think I've ever seen moves like this. You know what? The trade with Carolina and then all the pickups this week. Now, some of the pickups, excuse me, we'll talk about may not be starters, but they're just stocking up. And some of the guys might not actually make the team at the end of the day. You just never know. And I'm talking about the guys with the 1 year deals, depending on who they draft. So we'll get into the meat in it again in a minute. But first of all, happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. If you're Irish, I can't do an Irish accent, but I'm going to try. I'm pretty much, I'm half Irish, half German, although my father thought we were all Irish. That's why this face is an Irish face. It's my dad's face, remember? So we're going to get into it, but I do want to first of all say to all my regulars, I hope you're doing well, healthy, happy, and getting through the winter in Illinois or wherever you are. So, welcome back. I hope you watch me. Tell everybody about me because I'm back. And I just want to do two shout outs before I get into this show. Some very close friends. I have a very, very close friend who I've known 40 plus years, and he's had a couple rough months, and he is just a super good guy. And I've known him, like I said, a long time. He's a dear friend, and he's had a couple rough months. So, Bob, shout out to you. I know you're doing well, and just keep on rocking and rolling, man, because you got this. I love you, and I'm thinking about you. And then my cousin, who is like my brother from another mother, I want to give a shout out to Don, who is having some difficulties as well. Hang in, man. I get it. Believe me. You got a neck issue. I'm dealing with the knee. Yeah. Yeah, while I was off from January to now, I found out I have a very bad knee. I've already had two major surgeries on it. Well, guess what, guys? This old lady has to have a complete knee replacement and an ACL replacement. I am bone on bone and no ACL. Yeah. So, not having a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, getting old sucks. Okay, let's get into the meat of why I'm doing the show. Okay, you're not here to hear about my health issues. All right, let's rock and roll. The Bears. I mean, I said, in all the years I've watched them, I don't think I've seen anything quite like what's happened in the last week and a half. Okay, so let's start with the Bears made the trade to trade their number one pick. They gave it to Carolina. So we moved down to number 9 in their pick. So, and they've got the number one pick. I'm sorry. Yeah, with Carolina. Duh. So, so what the Bears did was they made the trade and they exchanged the number one draft pick. The Bears received, they go down to number 9 this year. They also received a second round pick in this year. So they're going to have 2 second round picks because they get Carolinas. And then in 2024, they're going to have another first rounder. And in 2025, they'll have another second rounder. And they threw in their wide receiver, DJ Moore. So the Bears got a haul. I'm very impressed what they did. So a lot of picks. That adds to more picks this year. And Poles is going with youth. So this is great. So DJ Moore, let's talk about him for a second. He's been with Tennessee for 5 years. He's 24 years old. Pretty solid young wide receiver. His total receiving yards have been 5,201 yards, and and that is in 3 years, 2019, 2020, and 21. he had, I should say, excuse me. All right, it's been a few months since I done the show. Okay, in the past 3 years, 19, 20, and 21, he had over 1,000 yards each year. So that's awesome. So let's keep that up. I heard him say he wants to have a fourth, fifth, and sixth year. Um, with 1,000 yards and more, and boy, would we not love that. And he's gotten these yards, and he's had 5 different quarterbacks, so that gives this guy a lot of. That's pretty good. He had Cam Newton to start out, then Tyler Haneke, Kyle Allen, Will Gear, and Tyler Haneke again. Why did I do that twice? I don't know. So he's had 5 quarterbacks in the last 2.5 years, and that's crazy to go through. That's a lot. Um, so he's been with Tennessee, as I said, 5 years. So let's. I think this guy is gonna be a really good um, wide receiver for Justin Fields. So you think about it, we're gonna Justin Fields has got now DJ Moore, Claypool, Mooney, um, and then he's got the tight end, our great tight end, and his name just went right out of my head. But um, I think this is really going to solidify the backfield for Justin Fields. And of course, we still have the draft. So let's talk about some of the free agents. So, I'm going to probably murder their names because you know how bad I am at that. So the first one is offensive guard, Nate Davis. I put his name first because it was the easiest. He signed a 3-year deal. He came from Tennessee. He's 26. And been with Tennessee 4 years, and he has started 55 games. And so this guy's going to be around a while. This is a good thing. Although I didn't, I said 3-year deal. So he's going to be around. I didn't put the money in there because I don't care about that stuff. That's not important to me. Okay, then we're going to talk about defense because they really loaded up on defense. They got a linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds. He signed a 4-year deal, and he came from Buffalo. He's 24, and he's been with Buffalo 5 years. He had 6.5 sacks, 5 interceptions, 359 solos, tackles, and 206 assist tackles. So this guy's going to be good. He is going to be a starter. He is going to start day one. Then we've got another linebacker, T.J. Edwards. He signed a 3-year deal. He came from Philadelphia. He's 26. He's been with Philadelphia the last 4 years. He had 5 sacks, 2 interceptions. Another guy that I believe is going to have a good chance of starting as a linebacker. These two guys, they spent some money on. They spent some real money on. So these guys, they are counting on plugging them in day one. And the really cool thing about TJ Edwards is he's from my hometown, Lake Villa, Illinois. You go, Lake Villa. Yep, he's from Lake Villa. He went to Lakes High School. And he also had 215 solo tackles, 174 assists. So it's kind of cool. They brought home, and he's grown. He's been a Bears fan. He said ever since he was a kid. So we're bringing TJ home, and how cool is that, right? I'm loving it. Lake Villa, let's hear, woo woo. Okay, then they signed a defensive end. DeMarcus Walker. He signed a 3-year deal. He's 28. He played for Tennessee and Denver, been in the NFL 5 years, 75 solo tackles, 39 assists, and 19.5 sacks. So that's somebody that Coach Flus likes, So I think these 3 guys are going to be regulars pretty much right on. And you notice the trend here. Poles is not signing anybody right now over 30. Everybody's younger, and I like it a lot. He's not plugging in guys that are just going to play 1 or 2 years. He wants to build the team the right way so we can have them for a while. So the last 3 guys, 3-year deals. That's awesome. Then we got a running back, Travis Homer, and he signed a 2 year deal. He's 24. He came from Seattle. He had 83 touches and 453 yards running. And he averages about 5.5 a touch. And he has 52 receiving yards, touches, 52 touches, and he's got 464 receiving. So he's going to be a nice backup to number 24, Herbert. We know that. So that's going to be great. So you got Herbert and him, because we all know that they let go of Montgomery. I feel, because after looking at Montgomery and then Homer here, the money. Montgomery did not get that much. He got a 3 year deal with Detroit for $18 million, and this guy came in just a little less than that, but not much. And I believe that at the end of the day, I think the Bears loved Montgomery. We all did. Solid player, showed up every day, had a few injuries, but he was great. I think that he just doesn't fit into the scheme of what Coach Pluse wants to do moving forward and the offensive coordinator. So that's why I think they let him go. Of course, Homer is a little younger than Montgomery, but not much. So, but they're obviously making Herbert their number one running back. And we know he can do it. He is a good running back. He can catch. So I'm excited. Then we signed another running back just yesterday, I think it was. And I can't say his first name, so I'm just going to say his it's D. Anton? I don't know. You know with me with names. Foreman. Foreman is his last name. He's a running back. He came from Carolina, and he signed a 1 year deal with the Bears. He's 26, been in the NFL 5 years. Last year he rushed for 914 yards. So that's pretty good. So here you've got a couple nice, good backups. Some might be playing on special teams too, is my guess. These two guys might both be on special teams, but it's and we'll see. Now, in my opinion, anybody who has signed a 1 year deal or less 1 year deal, you know, I think they'll make the team, but you never know. So just don't count on it. You don't know. But he seems like he had a really good year last year, and I believe this contract might be a prove-it deal for them to see how he does, because they gave Homer a 2 year and they gave this guy a 1 year. So he could be running back. He could help relieve, these guys. Herbert, special teamer is my guess. Then we went and got a tight end. Robert Tyran. Again, you know me. He, as a tight end, he's 28. He's been in the NFL 5 years. He played with Green Bay, but we got him. And he, too, is from Illinois. He is from McHenry. Look at that. Look at Lake County. We're rocking it. We're rocking it. And he signed also a 1 year deal with the Bears. So could be a backup for our awesome tight end, number 85. And plus, again, remember, people, we still have the draft. I'm only talking about what the Bears have done in the last week and a half. And then the Bears signed Andrew Billings. He's a D edge. Defensive edge. He's 28, been in the NFL 5 years, and he came from the Raiders. So I think his deal, I could not find where his deal was. I think he still had to pass the physical, but I don't know. I couldn't find out where his deal was, or how long he was going to be with the Bears. But so we've got one, two, how many okay, so we got the two defensive linebackers. We got two D edge rushers. We've got a couple running backs we signed. Oh, and we also signed quarterback T.J. Walker, who was from Carolina. He will be backing up Fields. He's been in the NFL 3 years. And they got rid of Simeon, and they picked this guy up. So there's some defense in here. There's a little offense. We only got one offensive guard, offensive lineman. So my guess is, although the free agency is still happening, but I think that the Bears now, excuse me, the Bears now are going to go with. They must like some offensive linemen in the draft, and they're going to try to get them. That's my opinion because we do desperately need them. Um, I forget how many picks we have now. What, nine, 10, nine maybe. Um, so, and we've got a number nine in the first round, and then we got two second rounders. So there's a lot they can do, and they can get some offensive alignment in that. And they're also, I think, going to go after defense. We don't know what they're going to do with the number one pick. I know that they liked that guy in Georgia when they were at the number one pick, Carter, but he's got some legal problems. And then I heard he had a terrible pro day at Georgia when he was there. He came in 9 pounds heavier, and they said he was chugging along. Although the Bears have reported they are going to bring him in and talk to him, but the fact that he was in trouble with the law, it scares me a little bit. But the Bears, so we don't really know what they're going to do at nine. They could, if he dropped, because now they think that got Carter's, now that he's in trouble, he's going to drop a little, so he could still be at nine. I don't know, though. I don't know if they're going to take him or an offensive lineman. We'll see. Because now that the draft is underway, or free agency is underway, excuse me, and that quiets down. Then once April hits, you're going to really hear about the draft. I, to be quite honest to you, do not get too much involved in the draft because it changes. If you watch NFL Network or any of these guys, they do these mock things and they change every day. So you just don't know. So I wait till we actually get like the week of the draft or the actual draft to talk about it. So after this show, I'll be back after the draft. But I got to tell you guys, really impressed with what happened here. This is fucking exciting. I got to tell you, so I was watching, I watch a lot of NFL Network, and the last week I have never heard, and really all my years, the kudos the Bears are getting for the moves they made. I mean, they are just like, the Bears are rocking it. If Fields turns out to be what everybody thinks he's supposed to be, because, again, we're not 100% sure. He had a pretty good year considering what he had to deal with. No offensive line and no real targets. You know, he could be a sensation, and they're trying to build young team here and we need defense. We can only go up with after what happened last year. Let's face it. I told you the Bears couldn't stop a baby from crawling. I mean, seriously, my grandson can crawl faster than they could catch him. That's all I'm saying. Which, by the way, I'm going to throw this in here. Since I talked to you last, my grandson is 11 months old. He'll be a year next month. Awesome. He has 4 teeth now, and he is walking. I am just in heaven, and I love talking to him about the Bears. I just can't wait for him to get a little older, and we can sit and watch him, and I can explain football to him. Yeah, baby. But the Bears, it has been really, back to the Bears, it has been really awesome hearing all the positive because let's face it, if you've been a fan as long as I have, you definitely have heard more negative on, when it's draft time and free agency time than we have now. The Bears have done their homework. Very impressive. I mean, they on Monday when you could start negotiating, they had these guys in 1, 2, 3. And then they signed them all on Wednesday when you officially could do that. And then they've still been picking up. Now, the Bears are probably going to pick up some other people. Excuse me, my allergies it's really bad here because it's been very windy. The Bears could pick up some more, and they probably will. But I got to say, impressive. I mean, these guys, like the defensive guys, the first couple guys I talked about, they're going to be plugged in right away. And anything's better than what we had last year. We all know that. And and then again, the draft. Okay. But I got to tell you about this one guy I saw in one of the pro days, I think it was. Oh my God, is he a phenomenon? He I'm not sure what, oh God, where did he go? He might be at Georgia. I forgot to write that down. But he's a tight end. It's Daryl Washington. He's a tight end. He's 6'7", and he can catch, run, and he's a blocker. He has no problem blocking on the line as a sixth guy on the line to block, but he can catch. And they said his wind span on his arms is in it's like as big as a defensive player, his wingspan. And I've seen him play. Could you imagine if the Bears got this guy, 6'7", going up against these littler cornerbacks, safeties, middle linebackers who'd cover him? No way. He's way taller than any of them, and he can catch. And he scores touchdowns. And again, most importantly, he's like, I'm down for blocking anything I can do. And if the Bears could snatch this guy, holy moly, would that be great? I mean, seriously. I mean, you got to look him up. Awesome. I think he's with Georgia, but don't quote me on that. You know me. Again, I'm not really on my game. I've been off a couple months, so Lynn's, you know, I'm almost 65. I mean, what the heck? Which means Medicare. See, crazy. Hey, you regulars, I'm trying to make you laugh, right? Because I'm coming back. But that guy, out of everything, of course we want offensive linemen. Most importantly, that's what we got to get out of this draft. And more defense. The Bears may pick up another wide receiver, is my guess. You could get in there too. So there's a lot because they have a lot more draft picks than when they started. So this is awesome. I mean that trade with Carolina, Poles really rocked it, and I heard him, and he said it took quite a while to work that out. But I'm just digging it. I really really am digging it. Those whole things. It's just so impressive the way our GM Poles and Coach Flus are doing this. I can't wait for OTs to start, mini camps, and then the real camp to start in late July and August. I'm just excited. I cannot believe it. I mean, really, people, there's a real reality that we could, win a lot this season. And I go into every season because I've been a fan forever. Like I've told you a million times, 47 years. And I'm always very optimistic. We're going to be good. We're going to be good. But that's kind of like, I'm trying to be optimistic. But this year and the next couple of years could be the real deal. I mean, oh my God, could we go to the Super Bowl and win it? And if you're a regular, all I want right now is to be able to see a Super Bowl win with my son. He wasn't around in 85. He wasn't born until 89. So he saw the 2006 Balak terrible game. um, Rex Grossman. Give me a break. So because the defense got us to that Super Bowl, we know that. But I want to see a complete team. And I think we're going to. We're going to see offense, defense, and I know special teams, because that's why they're bringing some of these other guys in on these 1-year deals, these running backs. Of course, they're going to help back up, but they're also going to be special teamers. So this is just exciting. I mean, I am so jacked. I'm legitimately jacked. You know what I mean? That's a good way to put it. Not that, oh yeah, we're going to be good. We're going to, I think this is the real deal, people. The real freaking deal. And I could not be more excited. I think if these players, of course, they have to pan out. I know we're going to have a good draft. I'm not even worried about that, you guys. After seeing what they've done so far, I think everybody has a good feeling that they're going to rock the draft too. I mean, he did pretty good in his first draft considering. And that's why last year they did what they did. They got rid of the old players. They got more draft picks for them. And they just let last year play out. They knew they weren't going to win. I know people were pissed. Believe me, I didn't like it either. But they're looking to the future. That last year was not even close to being the start of the future. 2003 is the beginning of the new Chicago Bears, baby. And we're going to win! Win, win. And you know what that means? That on Mondays, because I always say I would sing the victory song, even though I think that the victory song sucks. I will sing that every Monday when they win. Yeah, I will. Or Friday if they play on Thursday. And I didn't have to do it but 3 times last year, so you guys didn't have to hear it. But guess what? I think you're going to have to hear it a lot more. Go Bears! Go Bears! I'm pumped, as I said. So, guys, the future is legitimately looking bright. And, I couldn't be happier. Now we just have to have Justin Fields come out and play better than last year because he had some issues. He has to hang on to that ball. He had some fumbling issues. And we'd like to see Justin be able to step back and throw the ball, not run for his life. And I just don't think that's going to happen because we're going to have some guys that are going to protect him. And then you've got these receivers. That's the thing about DJ Moore coming in. He can be our number one. And Mr. Mooney, which I've always said, I love Mr. Mooney. I got his jersey. I love him. He is a bona fide number two. And there's nothing wrong with that because they're going to double team DJ Moore. So then that opens up Mr. Mooney, and Mr. Mooney can do it. He's really good at that. I love him, but at number one, he just didn't have it, the speed or whatever, but he can get open. So you're going to see Mr. Mooney have a much better year than he did last year because we've added DJ Moore. And Claypool, people were real disappointed in Claypool last year. He came in the middle of the season. Whole new scheme. You got to give him time. He can't just all of a sudden get numbers. I think he's going to play very well this year. I think he's going to be comfortable. Fields, I'm hoping these guys are right now somewhere. Fields is throwing to these guys. I hope they do that soon. Get out, go to some meet somewhere and start practicing and get the continuity and the consistency and the comfort in these wide receivers. And then you have a running game that we know we have. And if we have a defense, we've got a good backfield on the defense. You need some backups, which might come in the draft or more in free agency. You need backups for these guys. But if we've signed 2 linebackers, a couple D-edge rushers. So think about it. They know their needs, and they have filled them so far, and that isn't even the draft yet. So I'm pumped. Pumped like you all are. I'm sure in Illinois, again, I don't hear the news out here like in Illinois, so I'm sure everybody is just jacked. And if people are complaining, give me a break. And the other thing is, no, we do not want Zeke Elliott. The Bears aren't going to do that anyway, so I don't got to worry about it. I knew last year Elliott will not be on Dallas this year because Tony Pollard. They have a really good running back, and Elliott's been in the league 7 years. And running backs, there are a few that have done it, but a lot of them, their legs start to give out. They run out of steam. I do not want him, and he's not coming. Some of the things I see, I just laugh and say, what are people thinking? Poles isn't going to sign anybody over 30. He's just not, and I'm digging it. You want youth. You want somebody to be around a long time on the team. And as long as you can in the NFL nowadays. It's not like the olden days where they played their careers with one team, maybe 2, but it was usually 1. So, okay, I'm done. I think I gave you the lowdown. Sorry if there was a few blunders with the names, but you know me. You know your announcer Lynn, she just gets names wrong, but it's okay. We have fun, right? So, I'm digging it. I will be back after the draft to talk about all with the Bears. After the draft's over, I'll come back in May, talk about that, and then I'll be done until camp opens up in August. So you'll see me one more time until then, and then August starts season 4. Can you believe it? Of Let's Talk Chicago Bears. I mean, whoever thought? And my goal this year is to get to 500 subscribers. I'm at 3 something. Hi 3 something. I forgot to look today, but come on, people, tell people about me. You know what? I'm not looking to make a fortune on this show, but it's always fun to have a goal, right? And if I get 500, I'm fun. I'm easy to listen to. I give you the facts. I give you my opinion. Of course, it may be right, it may be wrong. You know how it goes. But that's my goal this year. But that's season 4. We're still at the end of season 3, so we're in between. So again, I hope everybody has been doing well. Um, I can't wait to see you guys after the draft to see the next phase of what they do. This is just freaking exciting. I am. I just, woo! I'm happy. And I'm sure you all are too, because this is exciting. Okay? All right. I mean, I know this won't happen, but the Super Bowl's in Vegas, baby, this year in 2004, February. Vegas, baby. I'm sure that won't happen, but boy, if the Bears were in that Super Bowl, in the Super Bowl this year, me and my son and my sister would fly out here. We would have a rockin' good time. You could all come and we'd party. All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. Super Bowl this year? Probably not. All right, I love you guys. And as always, be kind to one another. Help each other out, smile at people, love one another. Times are still tough. They're getting a little easier, but they're still tough out there. And we want to come together, and especially us Bears fans. We are awesome people. We are awesome people. Bears fans rock because it's tough to be a Bears fan, and Midwest people are the best. So be kind. Please do that for me. That is the one thing this world we're in is tough. It's a scary place, and let's just stick together and love one another, and we'll get through it. Okay. And I love you guys, and I appreciate you no more than anything. If you watch me, I mean it. I appreciate you turning me on, and make sure you tell everybody about me now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We ran a little long today, but that's okay. um I haven't done this a while. So, love you guys. Go Bears. And as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby. I'll see you after the draft.